focus with the album Everything Falls Apart by Hüsker Du. We will talk whether it's their first or second release, but this was released on Reflex Records, their own record label, and was recorded in Total Access in Hermosa Beach, California, where everybody from SST recorded their albums, and was produced by Spot, who did all the Black Flag records and Minutemen albums. So this record shows a originally hardcore band, Hüsker Du, out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sorry, I butchered that. And this shows them in transition from a straight hardcore band doing the hardcore punk style into a college rock, choruses, melody, melodic singing. So this shows a mix of the two forms of that. This is a hardcore / college rocky record, leaning more towards the hardcore. And I think if you don't know, Hüsker Du, they would transition into signing on to Warner Brothers in 1985, a major label, and really transition their sound into college rock as like the 80s knew it. So this is an interesting band that came out of hardcore, changed to college rock, did melodic songs that were radio friendly. This is the transition album. What did you guys think of this Hüsker Du album? / what do you think if this is their first or second record?
This is what, 12 tracks maybe? 19 and a half minutes long?
Oh, it's
19
so
and
good.
a half. I also wanted to shout out the Wikipedia article here.
it.
Land Speed Record is the debut full-length record by Hüsker Du, which was released on New Alliance Records, the record label of the Minutemen.
Now, do we think that one was maybe a compilation of singles all packaged together?
No, this was Land Speed Record is a live record that was recorded and
first studio album.
Yes, this is the first studio album, first long player. That is the dispute.
Judges
here.
ranking, does that make it its first album?
I'm gonna say with this, I'm gonna say it's the second because I'm gonna go with the MC5's first record is their first record.
Oh,
I'm gonna say it's a means of DIY.
Yeah, but didn't they only release one album?
No, they got two
one.
back in the USA.
They got two. No, they got two.
They have three records. The other one's called Hit the Clock, Punch the Clock, something like that.
Yeah, I like this album. I liked the shorter tracks maybe even more than the longer ones. And by longer ones, I mean like 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And the shorter ones are like 40 seconds long. It had a lot of the lead guitar stuff that your boy John Dwyer has recreated 40 years later. I like Bob Mould's voice, which is the lower of the lead singing voices. The drummer, I forget his name, but he does a lot of the other vocals. And it's a strong album. This is not like my kind of music I go to, but much like when we went over albums, I believe they were from 81 or 82, the punk albums we reviewed one time, like that Minutemen album. It reminded me of that, a little bit more straightforward than that Minutemen album, a little less jazzy and complicated and stuff like that. But like I know Hüsker Du from Zen Arcade and Flip Your Wig and maybe another album, which is when they got a little bit more like long form songs mean a minute and a half. But this is great. Like this is raw, rough, and right out of the box, like sounds good. Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of, in a weird way, Metallica's first album. In the way that it's like, it is this thing. You know what I mean? It's direct. Like this album gets to the point. It makes its statement that it has to make, and then it just gets the fuck out. You know what I mean? And I love it. I mean, from the gut, that opening, like it immediately just goes the foot to like the gas pedal all the way down, and then the cover "Sunshine Superman" by Donovan. It's just such a great. It's just such a fantastic cover,
really
and
good.
I was leading because I've never listened to this album before.
Right. So this album, right? So me either. I've never listened to this record. I'm not a big Hüsker Du guy because I have listened to like Zen Arcade, and I'm like, I really don't like this that much, and it's just a personal taste thing. I can respect it, but it's just not my band. This record though, I got super into, and by the time you get to Sunshine Superman, you're only a couple minutes into the record, and Sunshine Superman, the Donovan cover. If you don't know, it instantly lets you know that we aren't too we aren't punk rock, fuck the 60s shit.
Right.
They do a good cover of a disrespectffully great cover of Sunshine Superman, and it lets you know, oh, you don't think that's shit. So like they're like, oh, come in, like, please.
Yeah,
so
right.
that was super inviting. Also, there's no like fuck Reagan stuff on here that makes it like a hardcore record of its time.
Yeah.
None of the songs are political, which I also thought was really interesting. And like you even said, man, like From the Gut, the opening track.
Yeah, just immediately just.
But that's
go.
not. It's not. There is that on here,
Yeah.
but it's it's a riff song, which is
Right.
interesting.
Wheels.
Was
Great song.
Wheels is my favorite song in this record. The lyrics, I got a date with Sharon Tate, leading up to the end of the song, which is just 2 lines later, where she says, I got a big engine and it goes vroom vroom.
Yeah.
Having a man sing vroom vroom so angrily is so funny because it takes all the piss out of it, and the song is like really hilarious in that nature. I think it's kind of like taking the piss out of people with like cars and like,
Yeah.
look at my car. And it's really funny when he's screaming vroom vroom. Everything falls apart. The chorus on that song, the guitar chorus, effect on the guitar is innovative in the way that like they're like, oh yeah, we're not even doing this punk thing anymore. This is a song. So I thought that was a really great inclusion on here. Gravity, the last song on the record, is also one of the standout tracks, as it's not a hardcore song or a punk song, but inclusion song. And having said like the differences of hardcore and not hardcore, the mix of all these songs works the best because you don't get worn out on that one thing over and over again.
Right.
It's what's great about the Bad Brains is that the Bad Brains gave you hardcore, then 3 songs later you have a 6-minute reggae tune, hardcore 6-minute reggae. On here they do the same thing, but it's like songs you can really stomach and understand and feel, and then aggression. So
Right. Yeah, I thought just real quick song highlights. Punch Drunk. It's 32 seconds long and it's just madness. Afraid of Being Wrong, great guitar solo on that.
Those are my 2 favorite.
Yeah, and then From the Gut and then Wheels. Yeah, those were the honorable mention songs for me on that. I like the song Target too. Target's cool. But yeah, what a intense 19 minutes, but I loved it, man. I really enjoyed it.
Out of all the things, because I've listened to Zen Arcade and Flip Your Wig and kind of was like, this isn't really for me, but, out of all the things Hüsker do I have listened to, and I've listened to Land Speed Record too, and went, oh, I like this, but, this is my favorite thing I've listened to, and I would probably say would be my favorite album of theirs. So this was really cool.
Hit us with a ranking, Luke.
Oh, I'm going to say this is a, 7.5 for me.
Yeah.
I think it's really well done and rounded well. It's just it's a great record in that style. I think there's more growing into it. And if you like punk music, you'll love this record. If you like Blink-182 and Green Day and all of those bands, The Offspring, a lot of that is born out of this record right here, and there's a lot of great stuff to come back to. So 7.5.
I'll raise you a 0.5. I'm just gonna give it a solid 8. I love debut albums. I love killer debut albums. I love albums that come in, punch you in the face, and run away. I love that. That's why I'm giving this album an 8.
Yeah, I'm giving it an 8 as well. 19 and a half minutes long. Bang, 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 bang. Solid. Yeah.
In and out. And it's got a 32-second song on there. That's the shortest song, I think. 32 seconds. Followed by a close 34 seconds long.
What an epic.
The next song is 34 seconds long.
To be note before we left, I would also like to shout out the mustache in Hüsker Du. So please check
Ken
it
Norton's mustache.
It's
bass player.
Nope, it's what's his name? Grant Hart, the drummer, I believe. Nope.
No,
No, the bass player,
Ken
Greg Norton. Greg Norton.
That is such a great mustache.
Great mustache. One of the best mustaches in rock and roll. So please check that out. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. What do you guys think? Do you like the Hüsker Du album? Do you like Def Leppard? Also, shout out to Kevin. If you're watching this, Kevin, Def Leppard, rock and roll. All right. Until next week, guys, this has been Get in the Garage. Don't forget to like,
follow,
comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Share with someone you love.
Share with someone you love.